In this video, I want to talk about the safety switch obsession that is kind of going on. Now, there's a few different topics that I've covered in the past, and the most popular one that I've talked about is the obsession with conducting a reload and using a safety. And I'll just recap on that. So as far as emergency reloads, if you're shooting and you're actually engaging somebody that you're actually seeing at close range, or you actually see them, not like a lot of combat where you're just shooting in the direction or doing what's called cover shooting, like likely areas where somebody would be, and you go to bolt lock. Why are you putting your safety on when your immediate intent afterwards is to continue engagement or be immediately ready to engage? I don't see a difference between that and putting your safety on when engaging multiple targets while you're going in between target to target. There could be two people shoulder to shoulder, and you shoot at one, turn your safety on, and then go to another one, take your safety off, and engage them. I don't see any difference. I don't. It makes literally no sense. Your intent in reloading is to get back in the fight, right? Why would you flick a safety on, which is basically the anti-fight switch? I don't understand. But anyways, with all that said, let's go ahead and talk about something else, movement. Now there's reasons to turn your safety on, and there's reasons to not. And there's two reasons I can think that are opposing each other. There's deliberate movement, and then there's open movement. Now, I'll start out with open movement because it's a little more, well, it may be more common depending on what you do. If you're in conventional military, it's pretty common, right? So think of like a peel, like an Australian peel. You dump your mag, and then you run down the line, and you reload on the go. Okay? So you don't know if you're still going to be engaging at that point. You might, by the time you get down there, they might transition to, you just continue going and reestablish an RP somewhere because now you're out of the, you're not in an ability to see what you're shooting at, and you're in a defilade position. So it's open. It's open. You don't know whether or not you're actually going to be needed, or your gun's going to be needed in that fight. So that's an open movement, as I would term it. And then you have deliberate movement. This is like the VTAC cover drill, right? Where you have all these different openings, and you're deliberately going, okay, I'm going to engage from the top, then this other one, then from this one, and each one, you know exactly where you're going, and you know you're going to have to engage in between. That is like taking rounds, like during clearance, like going through a hallway and then taking rounds, responding to it, and then flicking your safety off, and then, moving, and then going in, and until you see another threat, you don't take your safety off until you see another threat. Does that make sense? You're engaged, and you're about to have to continue shooting, and you know someone's in there, and you're going in there, but you flick your safety on. That doesn't make any sense, especially if you're the first man. If you're engaged, stay engaged. Especially in a conventional unit, or like if that is your job as a law enforcement officer or whatever, it makes no sense to turn your safety on obsessively like this. It is detrimental to your efficiency, and it creates bad habits that tend to get overridden under stress. So here's an idea. How about staging? I like to stage my safety based on the application that I'm, or depending on the application. So, for instance, if I'm clearing and I'm just like this and I'm pieing, I'm not sure if there's anybody there, then I can leave my safety on and analyze, keep my muzzle low so I can see from the bottom to the top and actually identify foot, hand, whatever. Some kind of human feature, a shadow, whatever. So I can actually see. Now, if I do see, and I'm about to make entry, if I do see something, then yeah, I can stage my safety and, give commands, whatever. Or, here's my favorite one. When I'm about to make entry, particularly in close quarters, I'm not going to keep it in my shoulder. I'm not going to keep the rifle in my shoulder. You're going to have to short stock, even with really small guns. Instead of going down and then up, keep your gun oriented horizontal or maybe a little bit lower, maybe hip height and to hip to neck height. So somewhere on the torso you'll have good orientation. So I compress it like so, and from here I turn on I turn on my safety when I'm up, take it off when I go compressed, because I'm about to go and break that fatal funnel, if you will. And so from there I go in, and if there's nothing, safety on. Fingers still straighten out the trigger, so it's not a big deal, but I'm staging and I'm ready. Taking certain variables out. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you're short stocking and you're going compressed, there's no reason why not to, take your safety off and be ready. Reactionary gap is not there anymore. You just want to worry about going bang instead of worrying about, well, I got to not be safe before I go bang. So, yeah, there's no reason to be obsessive with your safety switch. Take it off when it makes sense. Turn it on when it makes sense, all right? Let's not overthink this and, get too obsessive, all right? Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and you guys have a good one.